Meeting is about to come to order. Officers, take your stations. Sergeant at Arms, are the doors closed and bar secured?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Stand, please. Colors being in place. Hand salute. 2. Chaplain will now offer prayer. Uncover.
Almighty God, Father of all mankind and Judge over nations, we pray Thee to guide our work in this meeting and in all our days. Send Thy peace to our nation and to all nations. Hasten the fulfillment of Thy promise of peace that shall have no end. We pray for those who serve the people and guard the public welfare, that by Thy blessings they may be enabled to discharge their duties honestly and well. We pray for our comrades that by Thy help may observe the strictest justice, keeping alight the fires of freedom, strive earnestly for the spirit of democracy, and preserve untarnished our loyalty to our country and to Thee. Finally, O God of mercy, we ask Thy blessing and comfort for those comrades who are suffering mental and physical disability. Cheer them and bring them the blessings of health and happiness. Amen.
Amen. Remain uncovered. Resolution 288, adopted at the 67th National Convention, calls for designating a POW MIA empty chair at all official meetings of the American Legion as a physical symbol of the thousands of American POWs, MIAs still unaccounted for from World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and more recent conflicts. Accordingly, we have placed the POW MIA flag on an empty chair, a reminder for all of us to spare no effort to secure the release of any American prisoners from captivity and the repatriation of the remains of those who died bravely in defense of liberty, a full accounting of those still missing. Excuse me. Let us rededicate ourselves to this vital endeavor. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Cover. You all will join me in reciting the preamble of the Constitution of the American Legion slowly and in unison. For God and country, we associate ourselves together for the following purposes: to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, to maintain law and order, to foster and perpetuate a 100% American, to preserve the memories and incidents of our associations of all wars, to inculcate a sense of individual obligation to the community, state, and nation, to combat the autocracy of both the classes and the masses, to make right the master of life, to promote peace and goodwill on earth, to safeguard and transmit to posterity the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy, to consecrate and sanctify our comradeship by our devotion to mutual helpfulness. I now declare the meeting of post-1919 American Legion Department of Indiana regularly convened. Sergeant at Arms, do we have any guests today? I don't see any. We had Gina wasn't able to be here tonight. She's in front of the school board. Need some money for school board. Adjutant, please come forward and present the minutes of the previous meeting.
Commander, the minutes of the previous meeting have been dispersed to all members present.
All members present have a copy of the minutes.
Oh, here you go.
Make a motion to accept copies as printed and presented.
There's been a motion made on the floor to accept the copies as printed, seconded by Don, or that was by Jay Collar, seconded by Don LaFontaine. Is there any discussion, any corrections? Mr. Hall, do you have enough time to take a quick look at it?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm fine. I'll say something later if I have any questions.
Let me know later.
All the motion's been made to accept the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Adjutant, please conduct a roll call of officers.
Commander David Everett,
Present.
First Vice Ralph Schuster,
Present.
Second Vice Ed Dunham,
Present.
Adjutant Cindy Corn, present. Service Officer Steve Milburn,
Present.
Chaplain Ken Hall,
Present.
Finance Officer Mike Toms,
Here.
Sergeant at Arms Tyler Cantel,
Present.
Council Jay Collars, Mike Delaney, and Steve Milburn.
Present.
Commander, your roll has been taken.
Thank you. Finance Officer, please come forward and present the finance report.
No report, we haven't had any change to speak of, we're still right about $1,000. We've been real flat for the last month.
Thank you, Mike. What's going to change here pretty soon? Meeting today, I'd like to ask the adjutant to discuss briefly what went on at our board meeting.
My half size is 6 7/8.
We'll discuss.
Mike Delaney was excused, and we had Jason Murray, who was a former Marine and got a degree and became a paralegal, and was the Indiana Suicide Prevention Coordinator, or is now. Give us a brief overview of starting a peer support group here in our post. And Dave would like to start up a class, 10 people per class. And we made a motion to purchase the workbooks up to $175. That was voted on and passed, and Dave will donate the money back to the post. That's basically what the e-board meeting was about, was suicide prevention and starting this peer group within the post. And the meeting was adjourned at 6:56 p.m.
Thanks. That'll be discussed more we'll discuss that more during the new business section of the meeting tonight. Excuse me. Committee reports. Any committee chairman willing or wishing to make a report, come forward and form a line. We just stand up. Any committee reports to be presented tonight? Jay Collins, please.
I have a good report from Boys State this year.
Outstanding.
I've got a $300 check from Centennial from Orchard 145-48. That's going to support one boy. I have a check here from ABC Pro Incorporation for $300 to support a second boy. And I have a $300 check from C&T Design and Equipment Company for $300. We have 3 boys so far sponsored. I still have not heard back yet from Sonoma Club, but these 3 checks have been given to our finance officer, Mike Toms. And I want to thank Dexter for getting $600 of that, which is $900 for us. Thank you, Dexter. I've also been in contact with the Southern Christian School, the Tabernacle Christian School, the the Greenwood Christian Academy. Let them know what Boys State was all about. I have met and talked to these people. I have given them brochures on it. The Greenwood Academy, Christian Academy, has stated they will be sponsoring, I'm not sponsoring, we nominated boys this year. So I'm trying to expand our reach here in Greenwood. Greenwood High School has never been a participant in it. I reached out to them. They are also going to submit boys this year. So 1919 is spreading its wings in the Boys State program throughout Johnson County. That's important.
Thank you, Jay. Quick question for you, though, if you don't mind. So, how many boys, do we have a list of boys that have signed up to date that are on?
No, we will not have that list available to us for some time in April.
Sometime in April. Right. And right now, we've got 3 definite.
We've got enough money to sponsor 3 boys. Now, let me preface that by saying, these are boys that would not be paid for by other sources. For
Right.
example, Center Grove pays for their boys that they nominate.
Do that. Okay.
And we can still pick them up as a sponsor,
Sure.
okay? Because the Legion Post has to sponsor any boy that goes.
Makes sense.
Dexter may pay for a boy, he's donating it to the boy, but he doesn't sponsor that boy.
Right.
Only the Post sponsor.
Thanks for clarifying.
We've got 2 boys that are probably paid for by Center Grove. And we have 3 boys that we can pick up out of the Christian school and can't afford to pay for the boys.
Right. Appreciate that, Jay. Appreciate all your hard work on that Boys State program.
Who were the other donors besides 40 and 8J?
C&T, I'll give you a copy.
Okay, thank you.
So, one of the big programs for the American Legion, and I got to tell you, being part of the district and going to district meetings, it's
really a great thing what Jay's doing and his committee, sponsoring all these boys when other posts don't get any. Any other committees would like to make a report?
Committee. Yeah, for youth activities, a report on our sponsorship or chartering of Boy Scout, Cub Scout Act. That has been formalized, just this evening, we've signed all the final documents and did that. During this last week, I went to one of the Court of Honors at Troop 615, and they had a large group of youth achieved new ranks and did a lot of different things. One of the nice things with this group is it's about 20, 25 boys are involved in almost the equal number of adults. Several of those adults are veterans, and I was automatically in a selling mode to get them to find out when they join us here. Some were actually going, they live in Franklin, so they're going to go down there instead. But as long as they get on board and become involved, that's one thing. Just want to make sure you understand. One of the great things about having the Boy Scouts here is, they are heavily involved in what they want to make sure, it is a religious organization because they're required to have a belief in God or a supreme being, but also citizenship, so that feeds directly into what we're trying to promote with all the Boy State and everything else. That's going to be uniform flag ceremonies and retirement of flags and everything. They've been asking me, what can they do to help us, or to work here to do that? So those are two of the things, and the last is, in order to achieve the highest rank of a Boy Scout, you become an Eagle Scout. There's a lot of things you have to do, and one of them is a project. They have 8 youth, which is an unusual number this year, that are eligible to become Eagle Scouts and are beginning to look for projects. I look at it for our benefit, that's free labor. We can get things done at the new post, and get that at the new building, so that's a ready source of things to get done, like we had here, where benches were built and flagpoles set up and things on that, or rocks spread around. So it's a great source in order to get this done. So maybe that's all I have on Boy Scouts.
Thank you, Ralph.
Yes.
Y'all, sorry, Cindy.
Are we also gonna sponsor the Cub Scout troop also? Is it both of them?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. Cub Pack.
thank you.
They're both, one's Troop 615 and the other one is Pack 615. Makes it easy.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to remember different numbers.
That's awesome. And they were really excited about joining us, that's for sure.
Yes.
It's be a great relationship. Anybody have any questions for Ralph on the Boy Scout stuff? Any other committee reports to give today? Dexter, IT committee.
IT committee, James King joined us and is going to, the committee is going to be helping us move forward more, up our game in live streaming and social media and Facebook. And we all met with the VFW as well over at the new building to discuss IT-related things like wireless and what we can do to help. Starting to discuss all of that. And that's really it. We talked a lot.
Yeah,
I think that's about it to report for right now. We are live streaming right now to Facebook Live, and I'm recording it, and then I'm going to post it to the post YouTube channel. So just trying to get more and more people that view. My father is one of them. He may even be on here right now. It's hard for him to get out here sometimes, and he'd like to be involved. And this is the way to do that. James is currently doing the same thing to his channel. 2 different cameras, but we'll eventually get it all into one thing where hopefully James will be running it. But we're just trying to get more exposure for the post and for the members that we have to show that we'd love to see you, love to be in person, but if you can't, you don't have to be in the state. James is saying you don't even have to live here to be part of the post.
You could be a member. You could live in Alaska and be a member of Post 1919. Really, that's awesome.
Be able to see us.
Participate, yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm gonna pan and show everybody just real quick at one time, just so people can see there's actually more than just us and Ralph.
That's good.
Is there a way that if somebody is currently watching, that they can call in to give a report or ask a question or anything?
On Facebook Live, they're asking me questions. On YouTube, they're asking him questions. And then, the last time I was able to get Dave, because one of his friends was giving him a hard time. And at the end, I was able to ask a question of him, and it was actually a valid one about the ride. We were gonna start the ride.
Right.
So yes, there is, and if we can up that a little bit, James and I will. Yes, they can. We've got to see it, and that's why we're not being rude when we're looking and typing on our computers and phones. We're really not taking regular questions. I'm not answering live right now. I'm answering people online.
Yeah, right now I'm talking to somebody in Connecticut that she's a retired Air Force staff sergeant, and I was just telling her, I was like, hey, part of the reason why I'm doing this is to get people who aren't in a legion, but that are especially like friends with mine, to join us and to get involved in this kind of stuff.
Or you can join their local legion too.
Oh, they're gonna join here. They're gonna join here. So, yeah. So if you see me typing, I'm doing the same thing, Dexter.
Right, we're not trying to be rude and disrespectful. We're not actually paying attention to our phones except for this.
Well, and the same with me. I'm getting real-time updates from Dex. He sent me something, I responded back to him. That was with a pan in the crowd, because I think it's important that people that can see what we're doing here. It's not, a couple guys sitting in the basement pretending like we're holding a meeting. We got 20-something people here.
23.
23 people here. That's pretty outstanding.
Last meeting was 30.
Last meeting was 30.
And I want to make a note, Joe's doing the same thing as well. He's feeding me information from the back. So when he's on his computer, he's not being rude and goofing off playing solitaire. He's actually
But actually, he might be goofing off on that.
But just, if you see us, I'll try to point out people, because I don't know, I would find it disrespectful to sit there and be playing a game, and I don't want people to think that of Mike.
I appreciate that. I don't think they would, but no doubt now.
Yeah, exactly.
Or now you can go back to playing your game and act like.
Don't call me out. All right, that's it. Anybody, any other questions? I think we're there.
There's our minutes. Fly.
Any other questions for me? All right.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
So, Kim mentioned the IT committee. I went over there with the IT committee as commander, but also as the VFW junior vice. So I'm taking the kind of the VFW side of it, because as commander, I can't really be part of an IT part of the committee, but we're getting some ideas. So if anybody has any other ideas or anything they want the IT committee to look at, or think that we might want to focus on at the other building, feel free to open ideas. Dexter knows just about everything, but he might appreciate some help someplace.
Absolutely. I'll take any and all suggestions.
First of all, I mentioned that we're live streaming the meetings, but is there anybody that's adverse to being live streamed on the meetings? Besides Don, apparently? If he could be, I think he would have. Is there any other questions for me or for the IT committee? Any other committee reports, Mr. Schuster?
Yes. Since my cohort crime is here, I'll give one of the gun raffles. We have gun raffles every month. We flip back and forth from that of the VFW to the American Legion. This month's raffle is still ongoing, still tickets for sale. It's for a Mossberg MC1, which, for anybody knows or paid attention, that was voted as being the gun of the year by Shoot Sports Illustrated and a few other magazines, that they all said it was one of the best concealed carry pistols, 9mm available. So that's what we're offering up this time. Next there'll be a Taurus Judge, and later I'll be talking about another raffle, the third one coming up beyond that. So I'll do that under new business. But there are tickets available. The only thing is, if you're going to buy a ticket, all I can ask you is, we do enforce on the federal firearms license dealer, so I handle the transaction. You have to be able to own a gun. If you have something in your background and you can't own a gun, you can't buy one and think you're going to get it. You buy a ticket and think you're going to get it. So all local, state, federal laws are enforced, and you have to also complete the transaction in 30 days. So.
Do we have any idea how many tickets are left?
I don't, Mike, as I'm going to be using next week, I'm going through surgery next week. Mike had mouth surgery today, so
Yeah.
he's not talking. I don't know why, you know.
I don't understand that.
So he's not giving us some feedback. So, but the bottom is, no, I don't know exactly how many tickets are left.
Compared to our other raffles, this one seems to be dragging for some reason.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
And
We kinda lost our advertising for a while.
Yeah.
Somebody thought that the, Mossberg had already been sold and took down all the sheets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got them back up again now.
And I also spoke with Mike about, lack of stocks to sell tickets. He says too many members are not taking groups of them to sell, that they're just not being, active in the raffles.
so it's, you can help sell if you're on the gaming license, yes, Steve.
We just completed our 20 tonight. Lisa sold the final 2, and I just sent Mike a text. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, I'm just trying to get some information. So he may answer me, he may not. He was rather groggy when I spoke to him.
I think we were over half sold of the tickets, I believe, the last time.
Yeah.
James had a question over here.
Yes.
So, and this is kind of more towards your FFL as part of this. With people on YouTube and stuff like that, if somebody out of state that's watching this, wanted to get in on the raffle, can we send it to an FFL where
Yes,
they
it
are?
would have to be transferred to an FFL.
Right,
there
so
at
that's
in their
okay.
state. Handguns cannot go across state lines, as far as the state
Yeah,
law.
person to person.
Yeah, it has to be, in there, they can't come into a different state to buy it. They
Okay.
have to do it within their own state that they live in, so, but yes, I transfer guns like that almost every day.
Okay, that way,
Yeah.
in case somebody who's watching this asks me about it, so I
Is there
know.
anything on the license that says we can't do that?
As far as.
Like somebody in Connecticut, if they wanted to buy a raffle
It's a
ticket?
federal law.
No, but like if somebody in Connecticut wanted to buy a raffle ticket,
Oh, they can buy the ticket.
Right, but you would have to transfer it
Yeah,
through, right?
it has to be transferred, if they win,
Right.
they have to be transferred then to a dealer in their state.
Would that cost the post any more money on that?
No, they typically, and on their end, we have to pay shipping if we agree to it, or they just tell them, we'll do that, but you're gonna pay the shipping. And if there's a transfer fee on the other end, that's their problem.
Yes,
Sure.
the guns are pretty long and all of that.
Sure, but, if it does, somebody had a question right here, was that Scott? Philip?
You can just barely go to McDonald's and buy a hamburger and Coke and fries for that price
Yeah,
nowadays.
the ticket prices are, for the people online, the ticket prices are $10, so 100 tickets.
Yeah.
And we always have at least one raffle going, we alternate between the posts, so, it's really the main generator of funds for our post at this time, until we start finding out other means, but,
The post receive, I pick up these guns as a dealer, I get them at my cost. So you can transfer it over at cost, there's no extras that being added in or anything, so what we're averaging is about between $600 to $700 on every one of these raffles, goes in the coffin. So it's good for us, it's a nice little easy stream of money coming in. But, and typically they last anywhere from 2 weeks to a month or more that the raffle goes, it just depends. We try to pick something that everybody would want.
did you have something else, Phil?
We have somebody on, person hasn't fired again in a long time, they've been certified.
And the question was, if there was somebody in the post that has not fired, I'm sure, I know I'm one of them, I mean, I'm sure,
I haven't
yeah.
fired in a long time.
maybe a good project we could set up for the post is having an out day over at the range.
I teach I am the NRA representative for Indiana for training, so therefore, I offer those courses constantly as far as that goes. So yes, set that up and make arrangements for outdoor, feature, backside off, or indoors, indoor shooting. Any other questions? Thanks.
Thanks, Rob. Any other committee reports? All right, no more committee reports, we'll move on. We've got some new members in here tonight. I want to introduce them making their first meeting tonight. Of course, Scott Emmett, he was here last meeting, but he's now officially a member, so this is his first official meeting. So nice to meet you, Scott. This is everybody else. Another new member, Rick Raines, he signed up last meeting, and this is his first official meeting as a member, so Rick. We got Philip Phil Martinez. He's back in the back. This is his first official meeting, so let's give Phil a round of applause. And one gentleman, I didn't write down his name because I didn't know him until 10 minutes ago.
Eric Gilkey.
Eric Ugilke. Hey, Gary, where'd you come from, Eric?
Greenwood.
Greenwood?
Yep.
Outstanding. Well, let's get him around. We'll get started. You guys, the new guys hang out a little bit afterwards, get to meet the people. We got a real tight group here. Most of us are, we've known each other for years, but we're really good. We really like getting new people around. Sick home relief. Anybody know any veterans in distress? Jay?
Mike Delaney, as we all know, had mouth surgery today, we ought to think about him.
And that was a routine thing.
I'm not sure if Steve might know more than I
Is
do.
it a tooth or?
Yeah, it was, yes, a routine type thing.
Okay. Mike Delaney, who was one of the co-founders of the Post with Steve, really. A little surgery today, so put him on the thought board, or on the prayer board. Mr. Hall.
My eyes hurting.
Yeah. Our veteran service officer in the VFW got a needle stuck in his eye today on purpose.
That was number 6.
And last.
I get the rest, yeah.
What's your blood sugar?
Is he still there? Anything on Richard
How's your
Mamarello?
blood sugar?
Richard Mamarello is now in a
In the rehab place.
rehab place
Temporary?
temporarily. I would suggest that he stay there so he can stay away from his kids.
We are recording this, Steve, so people can watch it.
Oh, that's right. Well, you know me, I say it the way it is.
Yeah, you do.
Anyway, the other thing is, Mr. Bishop, he's a member of the VFW, and he's a submariner, and he's in Aspen Trace. He's in our community. And Roger Green, who's at 252, had a quadruple bypass, so he joined Don and I in the club.
Quad Bypass Club, yeah, QBC.
So,
Is he doing
other than
okay?
that, I don't know anything. I think he's doing okay right now.
Any other?
I heard Roger has been released, he's at home now.
Is he?
Okay. Glad to hear that. In case he's watching. Anybody?
Commander, the actual term is submariner.
Submariner? Okay, we got clarification.
Aerial submariner.
What if they are Seattle Baseball Club or below something?
That's what I was thinking.
All right, thanks, guys. Unfinished business. Anybody have any unfinished business? Anything that we haven't discussed in a while? We're gonna have some new business tonight, so anything under unfinished business? We are gonna get to your thing, Gary, don't worry. I got you, I got you on that. It's gonna go in.
What's gonna get you on it?
There you were, I saw you waiting. There's no unfinished business. Anybody have any new business? Anything new? Al?
No, I'm just saying hi here.
Okay. Maybe you want some. Anybody have any new business? I've got some new business. City brought up in the e-board minutes about a peer support group. I mentioned it a few times, so I guess it could have been unfinished business, but I'm actually asking for something now. The peer support group is a group that we're getting together. We're going to do it. We've been doing it for the last couple of months. It's two phases. Bobby, did you?
Talking to me?
Yeah, you had your hand up.
Yes.
I'd just like to say that once you're a soldier, you're always a soldier. It doesn't matter whether you're in the Army, the Marines, the Navy, Air Force. Once you're in and you've been through something, you are America. You are America. And I praise everybody in this room. Thank you.
Thanks, Bobby. I appreciate you throwing the Air Force in as an afterthought.
Did I not say the Air Force?
You did. You got it. You got it.
You didn't get the Coast
Thank
Guard.
goodness.
Yeah, I know, right? We've got a lot of-
We're always at the end of the
I've got a lot
line.
of air people here.
Space
Yeah.
Patrol.
We'll get them next. So back to the peer support group. So there's going to be kind of two phases of it. One is like a classroom type setting. We got some books here that we're going to purchase. I'm going to purchase it if the Post doesn't, which then I'll donate the money and purchase it anyway. But a classroom type setting to help veterans that feel out of place. Really, there's a lot of us out there. I can't even imagine. Everybody here knows I was Air Force. I joke about it a lot. I had an easy life, but even me coming out into the civilian world, it was tough. I had a real hard time. I still do. I've been out 17 years, and I still don't feel like I fit in. And I know a lot of you guys and girls feel exactly the same way. Thanks, yeah, thanks. Don't fit in these pants. So the purpose of the peer support group is just that, be peer support. We're gonna gear it towards veterans and first responders. We'll allow policemen, firemen, paramedic types. Just an area to get some help, kind of go over some things. There's a structured program, classroom setting part of it. There's also just get out and hang out, talk about like he used the example, talk about the Pacers game. You know, it doesn't have to be deep stuff, but just to know that we're each there for each other. Like Bobby said, you know, we're all brothers and sisters. You know, it doesn't matter, Army, Air Force, Marine. We've got the Coast Guards too. We've got one coastie in our posts. So just peer support groups, just that. You know, just to get out with people, let them know that we're here for them. Because that's a lot of us what we missed when we were in. We had that at 3 a.m. You know, I caught my tire blew up. Who do I call? You know, that peer support group can be there for them. And it's something that's really close to me. I feel real strong, passionate about it. And if anybody has any questions about it before I bring it up, what we want to do is set up as a committee inside our American Legion, and we'll probably set up a committee inside the VFW, and just invite the local community. And it will work well for recruitment too, because we'll pull people from the community that might not know we even exist. But we get that peer support group out there, then they'll know. Is there any questions about the peer support group, or need me to explain it a little better? Yeah.
I guess, getting the right people into it is, I guess, the real question, because of this group here, I think they all should go.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that's okay.
I might agree with you on that, really.
You know, I'm not gonna volunteer to be in the group.
Sure.
But, you know, how do you decide it's time for you to go?
Well, that's a good question. I think the big thing is just we put it out there. Hey, Friday night, the 21st of February, we're going to be at the VFW, American Legion. You know, you guys want to come out? Come on out. We'll sit down and have dinner together. You know, just sit around and sing some karaoke. You know, that might cause more peer support needs. That's the way it's going to start. You know, we'll just get the word out there, word of mouth. You know, we might advertise a little bit on the social media sites. Hey, your husband, does your wife kind of feel out of place? They just came back from Afghanistan. They might be a little off. You think this may benefit them? Let them know about us. Just things like that. There's somebody out there that needs the help. I know them. You know, I lived in Greenwood for 5 years before I knew the VFW existed. Had I known the VFW existed prior to that 5 years, I'd have been in a lot different place. You know, I was in trouble. You know, I didn't get in legal trouble or anything, but I was out there having a good time. And I didn't realize how much I needed it. But as soon as I found it with the guys that were here at that time, like Mr. Thomas, Steve wasn't here yet, but Don was here, and those guys, they really brought me back and got my nose pointed in the right direction. And that's why it's kind of close to me. I feel that the need's there. How we can get the word out there, that's something we'll work on. But for now, we want to set it up, and what I'm going to ask of the membership, which has already been approved by the e-board, is that we purchase 10 books. What was approved was up to $175. I will need somebody to make a motion from the e-board that was there, because I can't make the motion. Ralph Schuster's made a motion for up to $175 for the books, which will support our first 10 people class, seconded by Jay Collars. Any discussion? Steve?
Are those books copyrighted?
I'm not sure on that. There's a gentleman who lives in Kokomo. It's a national program. He lives in Kokomo though. We've had discussions on him coming and presenting to us, coming down to present to us, or even doing over video, where he could do like a video conference thing.
Well, I can check it out and see if we can get them for. So you're looking at what, $17.50 a piece?
I think it was like $14, but I said up to $175 to purchase 10. Because I don't know if we'll have taxes or, you know.
And how many pages is it? Roughly.
Oh, you're saying we can buy one like a copy?
Well, it is copyrighted.
It is copyrighted.
Yeah, Ralph is.
Yeah, because we could get it much less than that.
Well, this is a program that's helping veterans. So
no, I understand. I'm always looking to save the dollar.
I don't know. If it would help right now, if it did. It's going. Did that answer your question, Steve?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not going to, obviously not going to print the books. books out. So it's up to $175. The motion's been made by Ralph, seconded by Jay. Any other discussion? Any other questions about the program? And of course, you know, as members, you're all welcome to join the peer support group. Even if you're not a part of it, don't want to be in the classroom setting, you can still come hang out with the peer support group guys. They were about 6 or 7 of us that met that the last Friday that I DJ'd in January. Real good group of guys, man. They sit around having fun, and I say guys because it was all males, but obviously females would be invited as well. In that case, it was just 5 or 6 guys just kind of hanging out. You know, it looked really neat. With no other discussion, we're going to bring it to vote. All those in favor of $175 for, or up to $175 for the books, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Motion carried. Any other unfinished business? Or any other new business, I'm sorry.
Planner,
Yes, sir.
do you have business cards?
I have old business cards. I have to get printed with the new address.
And I would suggest, once they are produced, spread them out a little bit, give the members a couple to stick in their wallet. We run into people or at least I run into people all the time and say, you know, we got this organization going, if we can give them something to call and get going.
Sounds great. I can do that for you, Don, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've still got a box of them, the old ones I have.
All right.
I paid, I've been trying to get rid of them. I've been handing them out to everybody.
Well, yeah, it's just, if your number hasn't changed.
It hasn't, that's right.
All right.
Thank you. One other new business that I had, is we're starting a new committee. We're gonna call it the Veterans Outreach Committee. We had discussed last meeting about having the officers reaching out to our current members, doing like a buddy check, which is something every post should be doing. When we did the phone drive last week, I had a veteran that came in and became a member. James, this is your first meeting as well. James Engelking. Let's recognize James over there. New member, James. This was you. Just said something, man. But James has volunteered to step up and be one of the co-chairs for the new committee, Veterans Outreach Committee. Right now, it's got three tasks I'm going to task them with. One of is going to be our peer support group. That's going to fall under the Veterans Outreach Committee. The buddy check is going to fall under the Veterans Outreach Committee. And we're also, there was one other thing that I can't think of. I'll make sure that the committee knows what it is. But anything that entails reaching out to our local community veterans and finding people and helping people. And I wanted to do when we get to that part later in the year for the voting stuff, because we're gonna push the helping people get to the polls. So reaching out, we're gonna do that. That'll fall under the Veteran Outreach Committee as well. So there's gonna be co-chairs. James Engelking is gonna be one co-chair. Doug Pearson, who was over the peer support group, he's gonna be the other one. The co-chairs for that committee. If anybody's interested in joining that committee or helping out with that committee, come talk to James after the meeting. It's just, we're gonna be making phone calls, reaching out to the local nursing homes. We're gonna get all the veterans that we know are in the community nursing homes, make sure that they know we're here for them if they ever need anything. No money for that, nothing on that. I just wanted to mention it. Any questions on the Veteran Outreach Committee or suggestions? Okay. For the Good of the Legion, anybody have Good of the Legion things you guys have done with the community already? Things that are going on in the veteran world. Steve?
I got 3 short things. Mike Delaney has been working on a mailbox type thing that holds flags. It's $1,345. His idea is, he's already called he called me to see if it was okay, a funeral home, and we can put a funeral home's name down here. If they pay for this, flags can be gathered and put in this. It's stainless steel. It'll hold quite a few. I'll leave it up here for everybody. That's one thing. So he's working on that. I should have said I was working on that.
Yeah, you should have.
Now, the other thing is, here's a picture of the sign that we'll be having at the new location. Everybody wants to see that. And the third thing was, we should be moving Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Along with that, Steve mentioned we need as many volunteers as we can.
Anybody that can help carry a couple of boxes, put them on a, truck,
You got a pickup truck.
yeah,
Is that Tuesday at what time you guys are? Tuesday morning?
probably 8 o'clock. There are some people that meet here and drink coffee
In the morning, I hope.
in my bucket.
Is there
Down
any
occasionally.
possibility to move anything in prior to Tuesday?
Yeah, I've already spoken to Linda a while ago, told her.
Oh, all right, thank
Yeah.
you.
You just have to watch it because there's things all over the floor. So if you trip and fall, we're not, you're gonna have to hold us harmless.
But we could put things in the auxiliary office.
As long as it goes toward the center, the offices are all carpeted, painted, but they have, the cove base has not gone around the edges. Should get that done tomorrow evening.
Okay.
And how do we know which office is which? For example, we know what VFW office is,
Yeah,
but which is a Legion and which is 48, which is the auxiliary?
I'll show you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Delaney's already figured that out for us.
No,
Then you have to shift the guard.
I countermanded that one because since you guys are working on the other stuff, we'll
We'll
have
figure that
stuff
out.
in every one of them. It's no
Steve,
big deal.
it doesn't have to be members though, to help move on Tuesday.
Oh, no, anybody can help move, yeah.
Yeah, so if you have,
We did get, Butch, Mike, GK, Don. We got a truck from a place we rent, a space from, in fact, we got some of our bricks out there. And, they went over to the German Club on 15th, right behind Granger's on, where the old Victory Field was. Got 2 truckloads of things that were donated, got 100 chairs. They're a bright yellow, they'll really be nice, you won't be able to trip over them. And, then there's also, we've got 25 tables, we've got, 2 sinks. They're gonna pick up another dishwasher. The one that we purchased is there, will be hooked up tomorrow. The auxiliary purchased us, 3 fryers, 2, it's a 1 stove, it comes apart as 2. Those will all be hooked up tomorrow, and, we're coming along, we'll have to have a couple of inspections, and there's always something going on that you never know until you show up, like today, the city told us that we wouldn't have to put any trees in, this, that, and the other, till April the 1st. Well, that part of it's good, but because we have a lot of dirt and mud, they would prefer to see some seed, who knows if it's gonna grow or not, and straw put on top. So we'll have to do that. I've called a couple people already, and so other than that, we should be up and running. We shouldn't miss anything unless something comes up that I don't know about, and I'm not gonna answer my phone for her.
and we're all ready. I know I get a question, I've got 1,000 questions already, when we moving in.
Oh, yeah. I've had 2,000.
I know you have, I can't imagine. Anything else before I get to anything else for the good of Legion? Yes, sir.
Commander,
Yes, sir.
I'm with Greenwood DAV, Chapter 60,
Yes, sir.
and I presented you a list on what the DAV van services do
Yes, sir.
by the month, and but the totals for last year. Last year, we picked up 3,003, wait a minute, members, 2,257 members we transported back and forth. Hours driven, 2,699. Miles driven, 39,630. And total trips was 3,003. Now, we're asking for volunteers for drivers, because we need drivers. We also need money, so I don't know how you guys are set up for money. But we got enough funds to make it for another year and a half. After that, the transportation will cease, and then they find their own ways to the VA or Atterbury or out around Lafayette Road that we take them to.
Right.
But we're just asking for help. Any way you can help, be fine.
Appreciate that, Bones. Steve?
Thank you.
Yes, one of the things that I did some research, when Mr. McIntyre came around about a year ago, And our service, our officer for, District 7 VFW is also the service officer for Owens County. And what he did was, he went to the commissioners of his county, they bought him a truck and gave him, I think, $30,000 or $50,000 of seed money, and then they allocated so much money a year. My suggestion would be, since you guys are in charge of that now, maybe contact Johnson County commissioners and say, hey, we need some help, money, and they may do some part of the same thing. And if you need some help, I'll be glad to
Okay.
put some long pants on and go down and see them.
Can you call Jim and let Jim
Yeah.
know? Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll be glad to. But I do know some people down there, and I'm sure other people do too, so it's just a matter of, they can always find money to help veterans, believe me.
Oh, yeah. All right, thanks, Steve. Yeah, Bones and I met earlier today, and I expressed to him, we don't have a lot of money yet, we don't have any really sources of income since we don't run a bar. We don't have much, we don't do gaming outside of our raffle. But I've got some ideas on bringing it to the district. The American Legion itself, the department side, has some programs that we may be able to get some grants or some money and to help out the DAV. I'm gonna check into that, so. But if you do know somebody that may wanna help drive, or maybe wanna make a donation to the DAV for those vans, they do excellent work. A lot of the guys wouldn't make it to the VA if they didn't exist, so. Any questions about the VA, Gary?
Do you have to have a, what do you call that special license?
CDL.
Yeah,
You have to have one of those? I just wondered.
I'm pretty sure, go to court,
It would be a chauffeur's.
I can find out.
We'll check.
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe
I
it's
don't have a
chauffeur's.
CDL license. I don't have, maybe it's.
That's something we can check out.
I'll go soon the meeting's over.
Yeah. Bones will check on that, Gary, and get back to you.
Yeah, well, when I worked for a rehab center for nursing home, they wanted me to drive bus, but I didn't have a CDL, so I couldn't drive it. They said, you can't drive the bus with people unless you have a CDL.
And was that particular bus, or was it anything?
It was a bus, yeah.
But that's
We had
anything.
a small bus, it was just a small bus.
Okay.
Like 6 passengers or something, and they said, no, you can't do it without a CDL, because you're hauling people back and forth.
Makes sense. Thanks, Bruce. Any other questions about the DAV program, bus program, van program? You mentioned that they only get 100,000 miles. The VA only allows them 100,000 miles per van, so as soon as they reach that 100,000 mile mark, they gotta put the van in the garage and not use it for veterans. So obviously something we need. Anything else anybody else has under Good Legion before I go into what I have? Here. Say again?
What about Gary?
What about Gary?
I thought Gary.
Oh,
had
yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's not, I'll discuss
I'm
that.
under automatic ignore.
No, you asked a question. Didn't ignore you then. You wanna talk about it, or you want me to?
No,
Is it about a door?
Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
that was something else.
Okay. Yes, oh, please then. Under Good of the Legion?
Yeah.
Please.
I want to start, VFW passes 2 hats every meeting. A lot of you guys have been to VFW meeting, we throw $1 in there or change or whatever you've got. And this money is gathered up into a lump sum, and then we give it to needy children at Christmas time. Just families. They don't have food, they don't have clothes, kids don't get Christmas presents, things like that. And I mean, a whole $1, a beer costs $2 in there. We can do without 1 beer, throw it in the hat. But that's also because we are a 501c organization, we have to show community service. This all comes into the community service guideline, so we get credit for that, which we need, and it helps somebody, it puts the name of the American Legion out there. And Steve's got all the contacts in the world on that, and, so they've done all
footwork already. We could just fall in right there with them. And I just think it'd make us look good.
I agree with you, Gary. We had discussed that previous meeting, so that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. We'll say starting next meeting, we will start a collection for Christmas fund.
Yeah.
Non-mandatory obviously, but just like we do at the VFW, you wanna throw $1 in the hat, we'll put it to the kitty, give it to the finance officer, he can put it in the side pocket for Christmas fund. So, starting next meeting, we will do that. At some point, I'll figure out how structurally we'll need to do that. You're right, Gary, thank you for that. Anybody else have anything else? We're good at the Legion. I got a few things. We talked about Kids Color Guard, guys. It's something I kind of want to do, so I don't know if you've put out there to your kids, grandkids, anybody that may be interested in being a part of a Kids Color Guard. 4 or 5 kids, man, and just get them, teach them flag etiquette, teach them how to present colors, and they can do it for district meetings, or they can do it for department meetings. I mean, I guarantee it'll look really good on us. Plus, it's really cool. Teach kids to respect the flag a little bit, teach them a little bit about what it's about, and just in general, it'd be really neat. I haven't seen anybody have anything like that. We already have a color guard for Johnson County, for our posts, almost for our posts, but for the other posts. Yeah, Al?
They could probably march in the Greenwood Parade every year.
Absolutely. That was another thought of mine. I tried to get a bunch of people for the Freedom Fest this year parade and didn't get much response. But that would be one really cool thing to have at the front of our people, the Legion.
Since we're sponsoring that Cub Scout troop, try to get those kids involved.
That's a great idea, and I had considered that. The thing that I want though is, they do the color guard. I know we could get them to do things, but if we could get the Legion members, so they could be junior Legion members, junior auxiliary, junior Sons of Legion. Ultimately, I know we could get the Boy Scouts to do it, but it'd be really cool if we had some of our own kids and grandkids doing it, being actual Legion or auxiliary members. But ultimately, I mean, we may do that anyway. So.
And get our kids involved, we could have the girls involved in it.
Sure. Absolutely. That's going forward. I'd love to do it, and I know, I've said it a zillion times. I want this to be about family. I want to show that our American Legion isn't about old guys sitting around drinking and telling war stories. Ultimately, we do things for the community. We do things for each other. We want to be family oriented. That's for me. That's important, and I know a lot of you guys. That's important too. You see my daughter in here quite often. She usually comes in here before the meeting with me on Tuesdays. She's usually in here on Fridays with me. Bring your guys. You guys can bring your kids and grandkids. Bring your wives to the meetings. They're all welcome in any of my meetings. Am I getting trouble for that? I don't know. Don't care. I want this to be more than just what every other American Legion is, and I think we can be. Any questions on that? District meeting in April, we keep talking about it. April 11th, the district meeting will be held in the new building, District 7. So we're going to have a bunch of visitors. We're going to need volunteers for those visitors. Not going to be hard work, just showing your face there, welcoming people, maybe sitting at a table, taking a 50-50 raffle, selling, taking the $1 that comes in. If people come into the meeting, they got to pay $1. I'll need somebody to take $1 to do that. I'm going to be a little busy, but if we can show up and force and show these people, hey, look, again, something different. That new Greenwood Post, man, it's not like these other guys. Just we're doing something different here. So it's hard for me to express to you guys how much I enjoy this and how much I love doing this, because I know it's needed.
I have a question. You say there will be a lot of visitors. Are you talking district meeting, or are you talking our next break?
No, the district meeting in April 11th. So the Saturday in April. And a lot of these folks are coming from 2 hours away. We're the most east post in the entire district, so it's going to be a long trip for them. I would hate for them to come up here and just for 2 or 3 of us sitting around. We want to give them a warm welcome and show them around the place, show them around the new building. We'll take care of that. Auxiliary is going to help us. Hope maybe we get the auxiliary as well. So keep that on your calendar, April 11th. The more, the better. Any questions on the April district meeting?
How many people do you expect?
Hard to say. I mean, really, the normal district meeting might have 20, it might have 50. But they're also gonna have the auxiliary side, so you'll have twice on the double amount there. But you just don't know, because we're so far up that nobody's been up here yet. So they might wanna be here because it's a new building, they might want not be here because it's a 2-hour drive. It's really hard to say. I have a feeling we're gonna get a good showing, because it's the first time will be, people will be able to see the building. There's a lot of buzz about what we're doing up here down at District, I can tell you right now. You know, I go to all the district meetings, and I'm always talking you guys up and ladies up, so I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people wanting to come up and see what we're all about. Any other questions about the district meeting? We're gonna talk about the new building, Legislators Day. Jay and I went to Legislators Day. What day was that? 2 Mondays ago? 2 Mondays. It was really neat. District 7 had a decent showing. There was probably 8 or 10 District 7 American Legion people up there. It was a lot of fun. They had some vendor booths like they do at everything, had some speakers. I would say maybe 100 people, maybe a couple hundred, yeah, I'm good at counting. I just made a joke there, but I'm on camera, so couple hundred veterans there. They had speakers there, like the Lieutenant Governor, Lieutenant Crouch was there. They had the commander for the American Legion, the District 7 commander for the VFW was there. I got to talk to him a little bit. They had a bunch of representatives from the state were there to talk a little bit. It's a really neat program, and I think next year we may put out there to the district that will be kind of the grouping for the district. So maybe everybody can meet here in the morning, or at the new building in the morning, and we can head up to the Legislators Day. After the speech and stuff, they actually some of them got to sit in session, and it was really cool because the people that are there to vote on things, they see, hey, they got 100, 200, 250 veterans sitting out here. They might vote a little differently than they would have if there was none of us there. So it makes a difference. So keep that in mind for next year. They do this every year. Any questions on Legislators Day? We talked about having the Get Out the Vote campaign kind of deal. We discussed this last meeting that we want to be part of this. If you know a veteran that needs a ride to the polls, we can do that. Let's get some volunteers. Let's get a handful of us that are going to be ready to go pick up people, drop people off. With that, we discussed there can't be any politics involved. So if we're picking up somebody, you can't discuss, vote for this, vote for that. It's not allowed. If you got an American Legion hat on, if you're doing anything in American Legion capacity, you are not allowed to have any political leaning whatsoever. So just keep that in mind. If we start doing rallies in Indiana, I'm not sure if that's going to be important this time around. But if the current president was having a big rally downtown, you guys can go as a Vietnam veteran, as a Iraq War veteran, but you can't go as an American Legion member. It's just not allowed. They just don't want that. That's not what the Legion's about. All the politics is done on the upper people. I'm not sure that's in a good mood either, but
It's not a level playing.
But we are not allowed as members to represent the American Legion for any political reasons. Any questions on that? Chances are whoever we go pick up the vote, we know who they're going to vote for anyway. Pretty good chance on that. So there wouldn't be any reason to tell them one way or another. Okay, I talked about the Kids Color Guard membership. Don't have an official membership report, but we're like 105 people in membership now. We were at right around 80 for a while, and then we did the reach out to the local 777 members and prior 777 members. We've gained about 25 people over the last 2 months. Just people didn't know we existed. Hey, I was an American Legion member, but I didn't even know that this new post, we've been here a year and a half, and they didn't know it. So we're going to continue doing that. We're going to continue reaching out to the people who may have not wanted to be part of an American Legion for one reason or another. Let them know that there's a new option out there. But we are sitting, I think, at 105 members now, which is pretty cool for being officially not even a year old yet. I think that's pretty awesome. Actually, you know what? Let's give all you guys a round of applause for and there's more to come. We haven't opened the building yet. Wait till this exposure gets out there and our names are in the paper, man. It's gonna be cool. So if there's nothing else, go to the Legion. No other person come before this meeting. If not, Chapel will lead us in memorial service. Uncovered. Standing uncovered.
Our Heavenly Father, we deem this a fitting time to pay our respects to our departed comrades as we stand with bowed heads in reference to them. Let us remember the good deeds they accomplished. Let us reverse cause. Let us silently pray for peace, the peace that passes all understanding. And let us in mind and soul consecrate our hearts and lives to the real America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. The America worth fighting for. As we stand in silence to our departed comrades, may we sincerely say, may their soul rest in peace. Let us also remember the POWs and MIAs still unaccounted for from the wars and conflicts. Amen.
Governor? Until we meet again, let us remember that our obligation to our country can be fulfilled only by the faithful performance of all duties of citizenship. Let service to the community, state, and nation be ever a main objective of the American Legion and its members. Let us be ever watchful of the honor of our country, our organization, and ourselves, that nothing shall swerve us from the path of justice, freedom, and democracy. POW-MIA Chairman, please remove the POW-MIA flag. Flag of our country being in place, hand salute. 2. And now to clear the meeting post 1919, the American Legion, Department of Indiana, adjourned.
No. There's like 3 people. Well, it was probably like 10 altogether that that were here for it.